Hey guys, this is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing. In today's tip video, I'm going to show you how you can set up an alias email on your KW email address. I'll explain how the KW alias emails work, and I'll also show you how you can set it up to forward. So if anyone sends an email to your KW email alias, it'll automatically forward to, let's say, another team member's email, or if you're on a husband-wife team, it can send to both inboxes in theory, or again, alert all team members that an email has come in to this team alias. All right, so first thing that I'm going to show you is how to create or double check your alias email. And to do that, we're going to log into mykw.kw.com. Okay, so the KW email settings are in mykw.kw.com. And we can put in our username and our password here. That would be the same login as your username and password for command. And we'll log in. And of course, if you're still working on logging in, no worries. Feel free to pause the video at any time so you can do this on your end. All right, so where we find the KW email settings is we're going to hover over technology on the top black toolbar here. And then KW email from that dropdown. All right, so from here, clicking Manage Your KW Email on the right-hand side will allow you to manage your alias emails, and I will explain what that means. But again, on the right-hand side, let's click on Manage Your KW Email, and then I'll pull up this gray page here. Where at the top, we'll see the Alias section. All right, so you can create new email aliases, up to 5, that will essentially send email. So anyone that sends an email to your alias email, it would automatically forward that to the inbox of your primary KW email. So any email sent to your primary KW email or your alias would go to the same Gmail inbox. All right, so what I'm going to show you today is how to set up this alias email, and then we're going to go into our KW email to create a filter that will actually forward any email sent to the alias email over to other team members automatically for you, or whatever the case may be. If you want that to go to a different email address, you can. All right, so I'll be showing you how to do that today. So first thing I need to do is click here to request a new email alias. Unless you already have that set up, then great, you're good to go here. But you can create up to 5, just a heads up. So if you do decide to utilize a different one, I can go ahead and select my primary email from the drop down here. And then I could go ahead and set up a team email here, right? Like teambass@kw.com, for example. And click Submit Request. All right, note it already has the @kw.com part, so you're really just putting in the first part of the email. You'll see any criteria it has to follow. And again, clicking Submit Request will generally approve that alias email right away. And again, you can double check. If you come back to this tab here, you would be able to click Manage Your KW Email. So same thing we just did, and you would see that alias right here approved. All right, so once we have that alias set up, and again, feel free to pause the video anytime if you need to do that on your end. We're then going to go on over to your KW email address. So wherever you just set the email alias up under, you need to log into the primary email address. So whoever set that up, if you are in a team, typically maybe your Rainmaker would have the alias set up under their MyKW account. So at this point, we'll want to go ahead and log into our KW email directly to set up the rest of these steps. Now keep in mind your login for gmail.com, right? Gmail.com is where we go to access our KW email. The login for KW.com, for gmail.com, will always be your primary email. So you'll always log in with that primary email address. However, again, you can receive emails sent to the alias to that same inbox, but we log in with the primary. So I'm on gmail.com here, logged into my KW email. If you're new to logging into your KW email, I just went to gmail.com to log in. If you have a personal Gmail account, just a heads up, you can switch and log into your KW email instead by clicking your headshot or initial and a circle on the top right to add another account. And then again, you would log in with the primary KW email, not the alias. And if it says wrong password or anything, just a heads up, you can edit the password right from here as well, right where we set up the alias right below there. All right, so not to switch tabs on you guys too much here, but switching over to gmail.com. So now I'm going to go show you this extra feature that you can do that will allow you to automatically forward any email sent to that alias email over to your other team members automatically. So to do that, we're going to go set up filters, and we're going to do that from the settings gear on the top right of Gmail. So settings gear and see all settings. Again, settings gear on the top right, and then I just clicked see all settings, that top button. And then we're going to click on filters and blocked addresses on this top toolbar. So we click settings gear on the top right, see all settings from that drop down, and then filters and blocked addresses. Actually, sorry, I forgot a step. Actually, we need to add in the forwarding emails first. My apologies. This is where we're going. We're going to be coming back right here. However, if you could first click on forwarding and pop IMAP instead, we need to add those other forwarding email addresses in order to set up the filter. And this will make more sense as I go through it here. But what we're doing in this forwarding section, so again, sorry I led you astray, but forwarding and pop IMAP on this top menu here. In this forwarding section, we're going to add the forwarding addresses. So just so you know, so this is not alarming, we're going to keep the forwarding disabled. So the primary KW email, that's not forwarding, that's not going to team members. Any emails sent to the primary KW email will not be distributed to team members. We'll keep the forwarding disabled. All right, however, we need to add the forwarding addresses in here of your other team members to set it up so that the alias email can automatically forward to those other email addresses of your team members. So I'll click on add forwarding address here and go ahead and put in that other forwarding address. So this would be, in theory, your team member's email address. Click next. Oops. I put a space accidentally at the end. It'll confirm on the top left, or a pop-up will generally pop up and you can click proceed. And it will confirm that you've added the forwarding address. I can click OK. Feel free to pause or rewind as needed to view that again. So in theory, we would want to go through those steps and do that for each team member's email address that we're wanting to forward the alias emails to. So I would go through that step again, add forwarding address to add the next one. But note that we're keeping this disabled, the forwarding disabled overall. So your KW emails are not going to be forwarding based on this. We're just adding forwarding addresses to be able to forward the alias emails to. Now, of course, you can set up forwarding. If you want your KW email to forward, you would select this and click save at the bottom. All right, in this case, I do not. All right, I don't want my KW email to forward, so I'm going to keep that disabled. I'm just going to make sure I'm adding the forwarding addresses for my other team members. And once I have that done, now I'm going to filters and blocked addresses. And that's what this says here. You can also forward only some of your mail by clicking create a filter. So that's what we're going to do now. So filters and blocked addresses is where we go to set up filters. And this is a really cool feature of Gmail. If you haven't played with it too much, you're going to like this a lot, I think. So filters and blocked addresses is what we're selecting. And again, we're in the settings of Gmail. Settings, see all settings. And I'm going to click on create a new filter. Okay, so create a new filter. And I'll make this drop down appear. So what I'm going to write in the to field here, I'm going to write in the alias email. So what I'm saying is any emails that are sent to the alias email. So once we have that to field filled in, and again, that is entering in the email alias. So any email sent to this email address, to that alias. Okay, so putting that in the to field, that alias email, and click create filter. Create filter here. All right, and what we're doing is we're selecting to forward it to. So we want it to automatically forward, and then we're going to choose an address. So in order for the email address to be in this drop down here, that's where we would have had to add the forwarding address, right? Like we did just previously, adding the team's email. So I can go ahead and select that from the drop down. And so you can click to add forwarding address here too. So that's all I need to do. So I need to, any email sent to this email, the alias, will automatically forward to the team member's email address, and I'll click create filter. So now essentially if you have multiple team members that you want to receive those emails, any emails sent to the alias email, I could then click create new filter again and repeat this process. So create new filter. In the to field, this is where we're putting in the alias email. Click create filter on the bottom here. Forward it to, we're checking that. And we're going to choose the other email address, another team member, click create filter, and go ahead and repeat that as needed to go ahead and set it up so anytime that email is sent to the alias, it's automatically forwarded to each of your individual team members. Now, last thing I want to show you to just kind of help draw this full circle too, let's say now you're in the team members account. All right, so there's just one more extra piece that I want to show you guys to help draw this full circle. So in case, let's say you're the team member agent, or even in this primary account here, if you want emails, any emails sent to the alias email to automatically come in tagged, right? You can set up these filters to automatically tag emails too. So I can click create new filter. You can do this either from the agent's account. They want these to come in tagged automatically so they know they were sent to the team email address, or the team alias rather. So same concept here. I'm putting in the to is the alias email. Click create filter. Now at that time we'll want to go ahead and click apply label. So labels are groups in Gmail. But you can make it so that it stays in your inbox. So it would stay in your inbox and just label that email with a certain color saying it's one of these items. So in theory, I could go ahead and create the label first and then make it so that any, email sent to that team email here would come in with the label team, and click create filter. And that again would make it so that any email sent to the alias email would automatically apply the label team. Okay. And just so you know, you can create additional labels on the left-hand side of your Gmail inbox. If you click on the very bottom, I think I just clicked on create more. That's when you'll see create new label here. So you can actually create new ones if you want to create a team one here. All right, guys, if you have any questions on that, please do not hesitate to reach out. support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'll be more than happy to help out. Hope this helped, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.